We really want to look at the whole picture, and so when you talk about global engagement and diversity, the more opportunities we have, the better our students will be prepared for the future.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
So what is basically GlobalUSA, and why did the university create it? You have mentioned that GlobalUSA is part of the global engagement mission of the university. So in your office, what specifically you do for international students or international education?
Okay. In our office, actually, there's multiple divisions within the office because there's a lot of moving parts when you bring in all the international components of a university and try to represent them. I'll just kind of go through them in a sequence. Students from other countries, when they apply to us, so we have international admission. A lot of times they're coming with different kinds of visas, and so we have the immigration office within there. Students that do not have the language component, they can come into the university through the English Language Center. And so they can build their communication skills prior to being prepared and ready for college level courses in English. We have the International Education Office, which has the study abroad component, where they work with students going abroad. But they also work with me directly with building partnerships with universities all around the world, or helping with delegations that visit us from other countries. And one of our newest parts to it is global outreach. Global outreach, we have a director there that is actually going abroad and telling the story about the University of South Alabama. Because if students don't know about us, how do they even know to come?
Yeah.
And so she probably spends half her time not here. She spent almost a month down throughout Central and South America. She'll be heading over to Southeast Asia and hitting multiple countries over there for about the next month. And so her job is to tell our story, to make sure students are aware to be able to consider us. But then we're not ending there. Once a student arrives, they have international orientation. So we have a coordinator in that office who focuses on making sure the students are received and have really all the things they need to be successful students here. So she plans activities, she does the orientation, she works with all the different international organizations on campus, and so she's really focused on student success and retaining the students that do come here. And so we wanted to make sure that that part is a key part of the GlobalUSA. We also work with a couple other parts that maybe don't seem global engagement or GlobalUSA, but we have continuing ed, and we also have the 2 campuses over in Baldwin County. Indirectly, they are related because we can build camps, conferences and programs that are not just locally, but they're internationally connected. And we can host those on any of the 3 campuses, whether it's here on campus or over in Fairhope or down in Gulf Shores.
Yeah. So as you said that the GlobalUSA, your office, does lots of things for international students. So if I ask you, why international students should come to University of South Alabama, because there are so many universities in America. There must be some good things at our university. So would you please tell us that what are the good things we are doing at the university?
Sure. The University of South Alabama is actually a very, very dynamic institution. We have exceptional educational opportunities. With our colleges, departments, majors that are available here, we have everything a student is looking for. We have some of the best faculty and the best leaders and really good support. It's a very student-minded campus. We really want to take care of students. And so we really have a good school that's easy to sell. Our location is exciting. I mean, we're just a short distance from beaches and activities. We have a dynamic downtown with the city and the culture and the blend of all the different countries within the Mardi Gras scene and all the activities that go on throughout this community. Really, it's just, I mean, the list just goes on and on. We have the Delta region where the bay comes in. We have the shipyards. We have all the industries here. Everything pretty much comes and goes through the United States, right through Mobile. So we have a really excellent destination to promote and offer to students to come here to study. Besides the climate, I love the winter. There is no worry about pushing snow or freezing and wearing big heavy coats. So it's a very warm environment, very comfortable environment to be in. And then when we look across campus, we have a gorgeous campus with all the plants that are growing all year round. The combination of the flowers and the palm trees, it's very green. The buildings are all, they appear very new. And so then the housing around those, we have pretty much everything a student needs. Whether they want to live on campus or off campus, we have lots of options. So I know I'm trying to pin down one thing, but I can't.
No, you're right.
There's a lot of reasons for a student to come here to want to study. I know that there are schools across our country that have educational opportunities, and will try to compete with us, and students will try to compare those.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you start comparing, institution to institution, we probably have the same degrees they do. We have just as good of instruction or better, but there's almost no institution across this country that has the environment and the facilities that the University of South Alabama has.
Yes,
and so it's really an easy sell. And the more we tell students about it, the easier it will be for other students to learn about us and come here to study.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Some of my friends in Mobile who have been living here for a long time, like 30, 40 years, they are really, really amazed by the expansion of the university. Some of my friends told me that, it has been growing a lot, the university. So this is one of the best side of our university, I would say that,
Well, and the connection it has with industry is real. I mean, all the companies are here. Good companies, top companies.
Airbus.
And so the opportunity for students to put their education to work and apply some of the things that they're learning in the classroom in real life and utilize those connections. And these companies are international companies. And so whether the student works here or works abroad, it's seamless. And so they've already built the background that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Since the creation of GlobalUSA, have you developed any new departments or units further the goal of your global engagement?
Yes, actually, and I mentioned that just a minute ago. When we developed GlobalUSA, we pulled all the international components that were already in place together. But there were some pieces that we didn't have when we started. So adding on to that was the global outreach part. We created that division within the GlobalUSA. We added the two people that are key to making it move forward with Hannah Murphy, who is the director of global outreach. She's the one that goes abroad and represents us all around the world. And then Noelle McCann, she's the coordinator within the office, and she's here to pick up the students when they arrive at the airport, take them to orientation, and make sure that there's activities and events for them to do all year round. And so that part is brand new to the university, and it's a key part for the success of our institution to be more globally engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, the GlobalUSA program is specifically to attract international students. But, you know, I can see an important aspect of this program, because there is a saying, it's called public diplomacy. For example, why should, you know, international people or international students know about American culture and society? So, like, you know, to know about the beauty of America, United States, to know about the American society and culture in general, so that, you know, they have a good understanding of the United States. So what do you think? You know, we as a university, we are also serving the public diplomacy aspect of the United States.
Exactly. The students that come here bring their culture with them, and we learn about their culture. But while they're here, they're learning about our culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a two-way street. The students that we send abroad, there's a large population of students, and it's growing from this region that are studying abroad. They're going to other countries, learning, studying, and actually living that other culture. The more we can do and promote these kind of activities, whether it's the students coming here or the students going abroad, the better we're preparing our students to live in the world that we have.
Yeah, in global society.
It is, exactly. It's very important because we fear what we don't know. We see the stereotypes, and we make judgments sometimes without all the information. And the same thing happens with culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
People make that about us, we make that about them. We don't mean to, but sometimes it's a reflex. So the better we can prepare ourselves, the more we can learn about other cultures. We can go other places and learn about their society, the foods, their language. The better we are prepared to really live in that global society, and really, who knows, maybe we can bring our countries together even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
So what would success look like for GlobalUSA in the future? And how do you recruit students across the world? Like in future, what is your future plan?
Well, I'd like to increase what you said earlier, the diversity of our international population on this campus. And we can only do that not by removing students we already have, but increasing students that we don't have. Getting representation from countries that are underrepresented here and increasing those numbers. Trying to reach out in regions of the world that maybe they don't have as many opportunities for higher education, especially in the U.S., and try to build paths for those students to get here. To try to get our students to study in countries that maybe they're not already. It's easy for us to go and do a study abroad in a country where we can speak the same language and have similar culture, but it's much more challenging for a study abroad program to go into a country where you're using another language or working with translation, and then the culture is providing a much more challenge for you, but you'll come out a much better person by doing that.
Absolutely.
And so really that's the only way to really build a true diverse campus of lots of different students and experiences.
Yeah. So you have mentioned the life-changing experience of students during the study abroad program. I conducted a study abroad program while I was a student at Southern University, Carbondale. And some of my American students, they were really hesitant to go to Bangladesh because it's a very unknown place. And after coming back from Bangladesh, some of them told that it was a life-changing experience. So it was wonderful. So I agree with you that, you know, the study abroad program or going to other cultures could be a life-changing experience for American students.
Well, and I couldn't concur even more that it's been proven over and over in studies. When students study abroad, when they do an evaluation at the end of their educational career, so they're graduating from college and they identify the most important activity or educational experience they had, they almost always list that study abroad experience. It really is that key and that important for those students. It's not that they're not learning in the classroom or the books and the research that they're doing, but they actually, it changes their life.
Absolutely.
They can, the smell of the air in another location is not the same.
No.
The foods taste different. The people talk different. Some of the most exciting things are the things that you don't expect and you learn because you didn't even know to ask that question until you got there.
Yeah. And, you know, and some American students told me after the study abroad program that, you know, they take things granted here in the United States. So after going to some other countries, they realize that how fortunate they are in the United States. And one of my students told me that, you know, after coming back from Bangladesh, I do not have any complaint about my life in the United States. So it's a life-changing experience.
Yes, that's a very good point to make.
So we are at the end of the show. I would like to know your, you know, experience working at the GlobalUSA, you know, and you have talked to different students, you have visited some other countries. How do you feel, you know, what is your experience, you know, as the Associate Vice President for GlobalUSA? Well, although it's a very new component of this university, things are changing, and they're changing very quickly. We're looking forward to growing and building opportunities for international students and for American students to grow their experiences together. I can give you an example of something that I got to see firsthand just over the last couple weeks. Student workers in my office, new semester, bring in a couple new students to work just at the front desk and work together. Ended up with one student from local, right over here in Mississippi, and another student was from South Africa.
two completely different cultures. They didn't know each other. And just in the short time of working in our office together, they became very close friends. And actually, this coming weekend, they're looking for apartments. They're going to be roommates as they go on through their education. Both of them are freshmen, just got here. Both of them different experiences and learning from each other as they go. And so that's really the example of what we really love to have and see those kind of opportunities of students learning together, growing together, and building experiences that are more world recognized with really the global engagement in action.
Yeah, absolutely. So, viewers and listeners, thank you so very much for watching and listening this show. Thank you, Dr. Carter, for coming on to the show today. Make sure to catch the next episode of Global Talk next week on the Prowl and Jack TV.